Alright, today we're going to be taking a look at how to draw the human figure. And what I've done to start off is to create 8 sections, which are the basis of the proportions of the human figure. It doesn't matter whether it's male or female. The basic principle is that you are 8 heads tall, from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. And if you are shorter, it means that your head is a little bit shorter or smaller, and if you're taller, then you have a larger head. So that's sort of what accounts for the difference between the height of a female versus the height of a male. So the first step that we're going to do, and I'm going to use blue, just a blue pencil crayon to get started here, is I'm going to draw in the rough shape of a head. Right? And this occupies the first zone on the paper here, in the very, very top. Once I have the face kind of just roughed in very generally, I'm going to just put some basic features in here. Then I'm going to be moving on to the neck. So the chin's resting on this line here, and the neck is going to come down approximately 1/3 of the distance between the next 2 lines. And it's also important to remember that the neck is approximately the width of the face, just a little bit smaller, because the neck comes out from just behind the ears. You want to make sure that you've got the neck at a decent size here as well. Alright, so I've got the neck in play. I'm just going to quickly draw in the clavicles across the front and some of the muscles here. And now it's time to start figuring out the width of the shoulders. And in order to do that, I'm actually going to just draw a line. I'm going to use red here down the center. And I'm going to measure out the width of the head that I've drawn, and I'm going to move that out down using my finger here as a guide. And the shoulder should come out approximately 1 head's width from the center line on either side. Okay, so from there, I've got the shoulders established, and the next major feature that I'm going to work on here is the chest. All right, and the nipples actually kind of are located on this line here. I'm going to just block those in really quick, and continuing my center line down, the next major feature to consider is the navel or the belly button. So I'm going to get those in there, belly button in the center. And what's really neat here is that the nipples of the figure should actually kind of line up on the V line. So if I were to draw a line from the belly button out to the shoulder, that should give you the approximate placement of the nipple. Alright, so I'm just going to add in some of the chest muscles here. I am drawing a male for this example here. So we got those drawn in, and now it is time to continue to move down the figure. So we're going to move into the crotch area of the figure, and this comes just below the 4th section, and then we have the linguinal ligaments that come up from there in order to define the pelvis, okay, and the hips. The hips are approximately 1/3 of the way down from the line above, so that we are starting to get a sense of the form. And then the hips here are coming out a little bit, and we got the legs. Okay. So we need to start working on developing the torso and the chest cavity, and I'm going to bring the arms in. It comes a little bit narrower here on the waist, which is right around the area of the belly button, maybe a little bit higher at its narrowest point. Nice. From here, I'm going to just start working on developing the arms. Right, and these are actually going to come down way past the crotch. They're almost going to come down to the knees. Okay, so before we can actually get the arms done, let's get those knees into place. And the knees, the bottom of the knees are actually on the section of the 6th to 7th. So they're going to be down in this area here. So I'm going to just kind of rough in a kneecap on either side. All right, and we got a little bit of space starting to occur here. And we got make sure we get the muscles of the quads in. Over at the side. Okay, and indicate the top of the kneecap here really loosely, and moving down now to the calf muscles, which come out, flare out a little bit, and then they taper down to the feet. All right, so we get a little bit of a negative space opening between the kneecaps. And the feet, okay? I'm just gonna put a little bit of shading on there. All right, so we have the basics of the human form figured out. Again, this is really rough at this point. And the next step is to figure out where the hand goes. Okay, so the hand actually almost comes all the way down to this line here. The wrist is at about the same distance as the crotch. So I'm going to just quickly draw in a rough hand. Right, it gets narrower. And then the elbow is at around the navel. And again, on the opposite side, we have the shoulder that comes out. I might have been a little bit too far over here, so I'm going to bring the arms out. We have the elbow again at around the same height. Okay, so we have the elbow again about the same height as the navel. We have the wrist that comes down about halfway down the quadricep, and the wrist that is about at the bottom of the crotch. All right, so this is the basic human proportion. It's all based on the idea that the head is our basic unit of measurement. We can determine the width of different parts of the body, and we can also determine the height of the body based on just being able to measure out the head. Good luck and explore how to draw the human form. It takes a lot of practice, but once you get decent at it, it can be a lot of fun.